Hello and welcome to The Perspective. Today we dive into the world of art, fashion and entertainment as a whole. My guest today is a gentleman with a big wealth of experience across the creative industry. He's here to share with us some advice, expert advice in the industry, the trends that align with the entertainment world, and other insights into what the artistic world thrives against. Whether you're a budding artist, a musician, or a fashion designer, or you're just simply a fan of entertainment, this is your gateway into understanding the creative pulse that shapes the entertainment industry today. Thank you so much, Constantin Dupelius. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for joining me and coming to discuss this
Nakibazo.
topic. Uraho neza?
Yego,
Amakuru.
ni meza, amakuru yawe.
Nanjye ni meza cyane.
Ni byiza cyane.
I Kigali se ni sawa?
Ni sawa,
Ni
kabisa.
sawa. All right. Yeah, Constantine, thanks a lot. Thanks again.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me, for having me here.
You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's start the conversation straight away. You speak Kinyarwanda. I'm so amazed, and I'm sure even my audience would like to know more about you and how you are able to juggle between the language.
Dikwiga Kinyarwanda. I'm not yet fluent. So what you see on the videos is what I speak. It is not yet much, but I'm adapting to the language, to the culture. Actually, I found my home here. It's like my chosen home. Since almost 3 years, almost exactly 3 years, I'm here now. I'm very bound to the people, to the country, to the creative scene. And with that language comes, I'm like embracing this language, I'm learning it, and I'm trying to get better and better. It is still a process, a path. That's why we are talking even English now and not Kinyarwanda, because this topic is too complicated. I can't yet talk in Kinyarwanda with it, and maybe it also helps others who are watching the video to understand.
So what do you do in Kigali?
In Kigali, actually I am here because of cultural projects. That's the motivation I got to come to Rwanda. And now I'm based more and more, and I'm also active as a teacher. I'm teaching music to kids and piano, music production. Yeah, that's it. Like I'm doing theater projects, music projects. Yes, that's like the broad way of being an artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we go into the specific projects that you're working on, how do you find the audience in Kigali when it comes to entertainment and mostly part of your projects?
It's great. There is a big interest into arts, also into entertainment. So sometimes when you go to bars, you have good music, you have good musicians, good singers, and people enjoy. Like the flow is very easy. So the people are starting to dance, to flow with you, to vibe with you quite easily. That's good. But also in the field of theater or in poetry, in art forms where maybe they're not only about entertainment. I see there's a big interest, a big motivation to dig deep, to hear stories, to embrace different stories, cultures, identities. And that's what I appreciate.
Okay. So specifically, where are you working with these children and what exactly are you doing with them?
Okay, so when it's about children and teaching, I'm a teacher at Green Hills Academy. So I'm teaching music, specifically piano and audio production, music production. Maybe I tell a little bit of my biography, of my background. So I'm I started to do music long ago. 30 years ago, I started to play piano. I started to learn piano. I was singing in choirs. I was even composing my own songs when I was a kid. And then later on, I realized, hey, I want to do this professionally. I want to choose this as my profession. So I even went to a music university in the country where I'm coming from. I studied there. I got an expert on the piano. I still kept composing, I still kept producing music, I was composing music for theaters. And yeah, with all this background, I then also came my first time, 2021, to Rwanda with a theater project where I composed some music for it. And since then, it's part here of my life. So I share my own music and my knowledge in music on stages, in theater projects, in musical projects, and in school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
I want that by the time we conclude this conversation, a young musician out there or a young artist, an upcoming comedian or something, will probably pick something.
Okay, yeah.
As a
Yes,
teacher,
yes.
I think you'll be satisfied if you pass on this information.
Definitely,
From
yeah.
such a big audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so quickly, I am fascinated by your other Rwandan name.
There you go.
Your other name is Singyuma.
Kabisa. Singyuma for Rwari.
Okay, why did you choose Singyuma? Oh, who gave you this name?
I was meeting a lot of people here, and I heard names, I learned the language, and with that I was getting more and more interest into Rwandan culture, and with that comes also an interest into names. So I asked sometimes, what does this name mean? What does this name mean? And then once there was this name saying Yumva, it just stick in my ear. It just stayed there, and I was like, saying Yumva, wow, it sounds good, it's full, it has some story, some value. It's also maybe a little bit old-fashioned. That's also what I find funny to name myself as a young artist, saying Yumva. And then it was just for fun that it started. I used this name with my friends, with my colleagues. You call me Singyuma. They was like, what's your name? Constantine? No, Singyuma. Nitkwa Singyuma. And then it just got a habit. And then this thing with what I'm doing on TikTok, it happened just for fun. And it's still just for fun. I'm not following any business purpose on it. It's just to entertain people with it. So with this funny thing of calling myself Singyuma, we did some videos just for fun. It was just funny moments where we were sitting together and they happened. I was just uploading them and boom, people loved it. And then I was like, people like it. So let me give some more videos, more by more, small by small. Yeah.
So before you know it, you're going to be a superstar.
It just happened like after one day. Like actually, there was never a purpose to post something on TikTok. There was this first video where the woman behind the camera asked me, "Uri umudage changwa umunyarwanda?" And I said, "Ndi umunyarwanda kabisa." I was like, how can you even ask this question? And Jewe nitkwa Singyuma ndi umunyarwanda kabisa. And we were just uploading it on our WhatsApp status. Nothing special. And people loved it so much. And then people shared it. And then it went, it was even on TV. And I was like, So I'm just doing one joke. And people love it so much. And I was like, let me just slow by slow give some more jokes. I love to do jokes. I'm a funny character sometimes, so why can't I share it with people when they like it?
I know.
Yeah.
So has this kind of joke that has now become like reality, has it taught you something in regard to your teaching? Do you realize that probably this is another tool you're actually using to pass on some kind of education?
I'm not so sure about it. At least for me, it was teaching me a lot, because sometimes I was on a field trip or we were on the countryside and we were making some jokes, and then we made a video out of it. So I learned something about the country and the culture here, actually. So I learned about how to pronounce cultural things, how to pronounce food to eat, then we once did a video about me drinking igikoma or me shaking ikivuguto and things like that. And with this, like embracing the culture, making a funny story out of it, I learned a lot. So I think I am the one actually learning through these videos. Yeah. And maybe because I also share these videos with my friends in my home country, or like the country where I'm coming from, people also learn a lot. So my family, my friends there, they learned a lot through those videos. I think in my teaching, I'm not sure if it. Yeah, of course, it's my character. Of course, I am also part of me is Singyuma, so I can't deny it. I will never deny it. So, so it is also there. But I think I am actually learning a lot through those videos.
All right, all right. So I want us now to discuss the entertainment in Rwanda. How, in general, do you see the entertainment landscape in Rwanda?
It's very vivid. It's very broad, actually. I mean, check out the size of Rwanda. It's a very small country. Yeah, how many people? 30 million something. Okay, there are some people living in there. But if you compare it to big countries, there's a lot of things going on in Rwanda. So the scene is very vivid, very big. And there's like, actually even almost every month I learn about someone new, about a new artist that I've never seen, never heard before. When I go to concerts, to events, I always meet new people. And that's the beautiful thing, actually, that like there are so many artists out there that really contribute something, that really have good ideas, and also how do you say, like, infrastructure, a scene that really creates opportunities. That's really good. Yeah. I also sometimes we also have some colleagues, and I also had some projects in Burundi, and there also the theater scene is very, very beautiful, very big and very good. But sometimes I see the difference that here in Rwanda you have so many opportunities, and with opportunities come also artists. The potential is growing with opportunities, and that's the beautiful thing about this country. This country is working so well, so hard, and to create this scene and structure for opportunities.
Yeah, I'm thinking everything that is good, or anything that, let me say, everything that becomes good, everything that evolves into something good, definitely has some challenges.
Yeah, sure.
Have you noticed some gaps in the entertainment scene in Rwanda?
Yeah, there might be. Oh, it's. I need to sit down now and think about this for 1 week. But I think there might be a gap between, let's say, the very famous people and the people who are upcoming. I think this gap is slowly filled, because I see a lot of artists evolving, that are trying, that are really bringing something new, and then slow by slow they really make it. They get a platform, they make a living out of it, and things like that, which is beautiful to see. But still, there's quite a big gap of things in between, which might still come. That opportunities are quite new here. So. Yeah, it comes now that upcoming artists start to travel around, start to have concerts around, and the good thing is that venues have been created here, and there are even more venues to come, more venues that are created every year. Kigali and Rwanda in general gets more and more places where artists can perform, can practice on something, can develop something. So it is growing, but still I think this gap in between, let's say, superstars and upcoming artists can still be promoted a bit more, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Rwanda has taken a few strides. They try to also do a few things to support the artists.
Yes,
there
definitely.
are different laws in place.
Yes.
There are copyrights laws.
Yeah.
There are regulations that protect the artists, the musicians. You know, they have the ability to own their own work. Do you think this is enough, or there is something more that the government probably needs to?
Oh, I'm not sure if I can answer this question, because I don't have the complete overview. What I see is that there is opportunities, that there is funding opportunities, that there is venues, as I said, that there are laws, that there are rights. I think still a lot of people in the creative business are not yet, let's say, regulated enough. There's still, here and there, I hear that people are promise to get this and this amount for a gig, this and this amount for a concert, and so on. And then, money's not there, and maybe someone else was eating the money. So there's still some kind of, let's call it corruption in the artist's scenery that should be pointed on. Where things still could get better. And this might also be a reason why upcoming artists are not yet making it step by step to the top, because there are some people on the way who are swallowing their talents. And yes, I am not deep enough into the scene to say it, to analyze it completely, but that's at least the impression that I got from being here.
Okay. Yeah, so you realize that after all this is done, after the music is produced, when artists have done their poems, the comedians have produced their work, in most cases it's shared on internet.
Yeah,
either on social media or on other different platforms. And I want us to specifically talk about social media platforms. You have seen some posts that are engaging, others are not good, others are conflicting from different, not only in Rwanda, but in the whole world. There are there's some content, some social media content that is really not good. So some people have taken it to a higher level of even bringing in nudes. So I want you to tell me, what is your view on the regulation of social media, not only in Rwanda, but globally?
Well, I mean, as an artist, first of all, arts are free. So there's artistic freedom, that an artist is free to express what they think, believe, and do. And then second comes things like, how do you say, moral things or societic things or political things. So if you choose as an artist to put sensitive topics on the very high level, on the first level, I need to see the motivation behind. If the motivation behind is, I want to sell, I want to get famous because I am showing my naked body, or because I am provoking in a special way, or I'm showing off a lot of money in my videos or whatever. If the motivation is, I want to get famous, it is cheap. Because I am driven as an artist to say something, to have some value in my arts, to speak to the audience, to speak to the society, that maybe some eyes are open to it, maybe someone is healed by it, maybe there's a nice healing message in the music, or it is creating connectedness, togetherness, or it is simply there for joy and for fun. So I think this should be the main purpose as an artist, and then also to create social media. If you're just there to show up your nyash or to show up your money, okay, do it for yourself. Don't share it with others. That's what I think. Keep high values in front.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Another quick, I want to pick your view again on how you would, if you are in position, how would you regulate this? What, for example, punishment would you suggest for something that goes against the morals, not only the Rwandan morals, the culture in general?
I think now I have to say that from my European perspective, because what I see in Europe you see politically that the far rights, the nationalists, the racists are growing. Why? Because there's no regulation on social media. People can, like, there were just some local elections in my country where the far right people won the highest amount of votes from the young people. Why? Because young people are consuming their videos on social media. So they're consuming serious, racist, nationalist, dangerous content on social media. And what are the bosses of social media doing? Nothing. Nothing. And that's, I think, the very first step to go inside, to really stop, really chase people who are harming others directly or indirectly through social media. And I mean, about this other thing of nudity has also some limits. In these other ways, I think there's no regulation that really helps, but in the regulation of, let's go more into the political and also societal things, there should be more done, definitely.
Yeah. So, Konstantin, when you talk about entertainment, usually it is synonymous with happiness.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And happiness is
Like
at
that?
the same time synonymous with money.
Yeah, okay. I'm not completely agreeing with it, but partly yes.
Okay, what's your view about it?
We should stop focusing too much on money. But it's easy to say, easier said than done. Because money can't buy you happiness in the end. Money will buy you partly happiness, but the more money you have, the less happiness you will have. I see from my own experience, from my own country, from my own people, the richest people are sometimes the most sad people that I know, the most angry, unhappy people. Because if you are living in greed, you will die unhappy. And I think we are coming back to these value things. Of course, you need money to survive in this world we are living in this world we were throwing in. And if you don't have enough, life is hard. And if you are struggling to find it, but there's I think it's a perspective of, a value perspective. If you are chasing for money to have a better future, to support your family, to support or to fund your art or something. In my eyes, this has a good value. If you are chasing money because you're greedy, because you are jealous of someone who has more money than you, or because you want a bigger house, you want a bigger car and whatever, it has. Maybe with the house, okay, there are reasons, but if you're only there to have everything bigger, better, faster, stronger all the time, you will not be happy. So in that way, there's a limit of happiness in money. I think maybe it's like gradually, that in the beginning, the more money you have, the more happy you are, and then there's a stopping point.
A threshold.
Yes, a threshold, exactly. When then when this threshold is reached, the more money you have, the more unhappy you will be.
It's a downward curve now.
Yeah, but maybe there are even some people who are very, very rich and they are super happy because they still keep values. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Very interesting.
Yeah, very.
Let's talk about the gap you had just mentioned between the superstars and the upcoming artists. What expert advice would you give, especially the superstars, to pull up their young counterparts?
Do you mean the superstars?
Yes.
To be,
because I think it's a two-way story.
Yeah. Yes.
The superstars can do something.
Yes.
And the young ones can also do
Definitely.
something in order to cover up the gap.
Definitely.
What is your expert advice on both sides?
Yeah, both sides is good. Let me start with the upcoming side. Keep on dreaming. Keep on dreaming. Know exactly what your dreams are. Even write them down. Make a plan. Dream. Where do you see yourself in 1 year? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 10 years? Dream big, and in the same time, realistic. So don't rely your dreams on money, on a sponsor, on things that you are not able to control. Keep your dreams controllable, so that you self can have the hands on the way to fulfill your dreams. It's very hard. It's hard work. It comes with so many challenges, and every year you want to give up. I am still in this process. I fulfilled some of my dreams. Yes, coming to Rwanda and having a life here is a big dream for me, and I still have more dreams, and I still want to fulfill them. And but it is always with challenges, and there in those processes always there are points where you say like, I will give up, I will do something else, and it is very natural. Face those moments, those challenges, and move on. And now to switch the side, from the other side, it sounds maybe a bit harsh. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous, because there's always someone coming after you. If there would no one come after you, art would be dead. So imagine yourself, you are a superstar, you're turning older, and no one comes after you from the young generation. Art is dead. So I think in a valuable way, don't be jealous. Support others in growth. That doesn't mean to give them money or whatever, but maybe just allow them to have space, to take some space. I think, I mean, even I am still young enough, but not even the youngest. I see younger people taking spaces I had 10 years ago, and that's good. That's exactly how arts keep to stay alive, to stay vivid, because art is meant to be always changing, always be new, always be different. So if someone just stays the same, there's a superstar for 50 years ruling the entire country, it is boring, because we have always the same face in front. So there needs to be change. And of course, it comes with some kind of competition. This is sometimes hard to swallow and hard to face. It's also a challenge on the other side. But if we face this competition in a embracing way, we can only learn. Both sides can only learn and create better.
All right. I would like you to share some more insights on how you think this artistic field can keep thriving.
Well, of course, on support, on that people are there to support, funds are there to support, and because dreams can't grow without support. That also means, of course, financial support, but also venues and spaces. And maybe it's talking about Rwanda, it might help that there are centers that teach, that educate.
Just like yourself.
Yeah, yes. Also. And there are centers, like not only schools. I mean, there's also Nyundo School. There's a Lesbas Art Center where there are workshops and lectures done, and there are Rwanda Arts Initiative. There are many spaces, and now even where we met at Sherry Silver Foundation, she's building up. She has her school and even wants to build up a bigger kind of school. That this way of education and learning gets promoted more. I think this would really help to because the motivation here is big, the talent is big, the people, there are so many people thriving to fulfill their artistic dreams, and there are funds, there are venues, but the way up there is still, you need to find it out by yourself. And if there's a little bit more guidance from schools, this might probably help.
Tell me about the Rwandan culture. You've been here for 3 years.
Yegu.
How do you like it?
It's chill, it's calm, it's beautiful. It's so easy and easy, friendly. You are very easily with someone on a good vibe. Very embracing, and that's what I really appreciate. It is easy and even soft. It is not overwhelming you. It is not getting pushed on you. It is just there. Like no one forces you to hey, you have to do it like this and this. In my country, culture is teach with a lot of force, and that's what I really appreciate here. That it's different.
I think it's just natural that culture should be embraced by people without any force. That's how it should be. Definitely. But
those people I was talking about in social media, they want to force it on others, and that's not good. That's not how it should be. So the way here, the soft and easy way is really, really good.
How do you think we can, you like the culture, since it's good like you have said,
Yeah.
how do you think we can overblow it to the rest of the world?
Hey! Well, I think Rwanda is doing a great job in culture support, like especially in traditional culture. The Rwanda is full. You see the entire country full of amazing dances, dancers, fashion. Everything is there, and very vivid. Even in communities, like in traditional ceremonies, or I've seen weddings. All of those things are so traditionally based, and that's amazing. Even the museums, the touristic scene is full of it. So I think Rwanda might be maybe an example for other countries that are struggling with their cultural identity, or with the strength, or showing strength of it. Might be a good example, actually. I think maybe because sometimes I was traveling to Burundi, and I embrace the culture there as well. I love it there so much. I work with artists there, but there I sometimes heard the stories. Yeah, it is not that strong. Yeah, you have the Burundian drummers, but in the traditional ceremonies, in weddings, people are losing the connection to what was tradition once. And I think in this way, Rwanda is doing a perfect job, that it might just go to other countries. Like it can shine to other countries to stay strong to the roots and values of the culture.
Okay. As we come close to the end of the show, I still believe that in the art industry, entertainment demands a lot of investment.
Mm-hmm.
It demands more than just money. It also requires time.
Yes.
It requires
Yes.
a lot of patience.
A lot.
A lot of patience. And from your side, from the table at which you sit, do you think we have enough force to drive us all the way?
I would say, on the way of money and structure, it is definitely coming. There can still be more, but it is coming. And I think with the whole development of the country, with the Visit Rwanda, everything is growing right now. So also the arts are growing. That's amazing. And on the other side, I see people very motivated, really willing to invest a lot of practice, patience, work, time into their art. So in this side, I think the people are set. But what it goes hand in hand with what I said before. If there are like art centers that give you, for example, a 2 years education after school, after high school, you, for example, go to an arts university, or another art education center where you learn deeper. This could, I think, help a lot, because this practice is still done on your own, or sometimes you have a workshop here or a project here, but then you are thrown back to yourself. And this is very challenging if you need to bring up everything by yourself. For example, I studied in a music university for 7 years, and I practiced a lot of music there, of composition, and this is now the fundament I am doing my arts on. I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time, to face a lot of challenges while practicing. Yeah.
Well, another thing, let's look at I'm glad you have mentioned how you spent 7 years at the university doing music.
Mm-hmm.
There's a perception especially with African parents. Now it's Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only Rwanda.
Okay.
There's a perception with African parents that a child who has immediately gone into music at a very young age is seen as wasted, in quotes. Is seen as
this is not only African. This is worldwide.
It's worldwide. That perception needs to change.
Yes, definitely. I was suffering from that as well. From my colleagues' family. I was suffering from that as well. I needed 3 years of university to come over this fact of that some people around me, they don't support what I'm doing. And luckily, I got parents who came to my concerts to support me. Luckily, I had friends who were coming there and they said, wow, you're doing good things, you're doing valuable stuff, that's great, that kept supporting me. And you need, whatever you're doing, you need a supportive environment. And if this is not there, it's hard. This is the heaviest challenge. Just yesterday, I was listening to the story of one of the most famous German singers ever. His father wanted him to be the successor of his company. He wanted him to be inside his business. And the guy was like, no, I'm an artist. I can't be a businessman. I need to do my arts. They were breaking. They were not having any contact for 5 years. It was horrible. That's sad, but this is what happens. And then the guy made it and is still one of the most famous singers in Germany. And
the parents love him now.
Yes, and like after 10 years, he was having peace with his father again, but he was like thrown out of the family, leaving the family. There was no contact. Imagine, this is really hurting someone, and in this way, the value for arts definitely has to rise in societies, and I think this has now a lot to do with schools. So if schools give value to arts, that there are arts lessons, good teachers, the students will embrace it, and then the parents, older generations who are maybe still have this mindset of art is nothing, they might see, okay, there's a value in it. There are even people who are doing good jobs with their arts. Yeah, but this is a worldwide thing.
Wow. I think this is another story of how it's the end that justifies the means, not the other way.
Yes,
because,
definitely.
If you're going through this and you're really not being supported, and yet at the end of the day you make it and people come back to you and you become friends again, this shouldn't be.
Exactly, it should not be there from the first moment. Imagine if this famous singer was supported by his family, he would made it after 1 year to big success instead of 10 years, and that would really help a lot if this mindset would decrease in a way. But that's a very big challenge, and on this side, I think. I have to tell to artists, to young artists, if your dreams are big enough, if your motivation is big enough, keep it, keep working on it, and maybe there's a time where you say, okay, I need to focus on something else. Maybe I need a regular job aside, but if the dreams are big enough, they will come again. They will come again, and then don't neglect them.
On your part, now that we have discussed all these challenges, you have seen them, you personally as an individual, we are lucky that we have you in Rwanda to help our young upcoming artists and young school-going children. What is that you, as you, are bringing to table to counter-challenge some of these challenges? Well,
I am somehow driven through arts, so I have a lot of motivation to do my projects, to do my music, to do my arts, and I think I can only give it to others, this motivation. I am so full. My pot of motivation is fuller than I can handle it for myself. So I think I am willing to share as much as I can, so that maybe I can light a flame into someone else where maybe the flame is not yet big enough or full of doubts, or there's a family in the background or some others who are saying, you are not going into that direction, you're going into another direction. Yeah, to lighten up some potential. That's actually what I wish I can do.
Wow. Well, our viewers and our followers, we always bring you contentious topics, educative, entertaining, as well as promotion. So I hope you learn from what Constantine has to offer. And Constantine, thank you for coming forth, because this information that we share with our viewers, that we share with our audience, in one way or another, definitely touches us all. And I'm sure someone there is gaining from this. Someone has achieved something. And probably, or they are in a way of doing something and they have some backlash, or they are not confident enough, or there is a step they need to take, and it's a bit of a challenge. But by coming forth and telling them some of these challenges, I think it's a good thing.
Yes. Actually, this talk was even a challenge for me. I was really provoked to think about things I was maybe not thinking about for quite a while, and even finding my own statement, my own position in this creating arts world, and that's amazing. So I just hope that I could that I have touched someone, and that maybe the provocative questions from your side was not only provoking me, but also some viewers.
All right. Thank you so much, Constantine. It has been a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you again.
Kabisa.
All right.
No problem.